And it's the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters of Malmö 2019 that will continue right here. We're just across the way of the Öresund Bridge, but that doesn't mean that the Danes won't stop to try to make their mark here just once more. This time, though, they're going to be stacked up against CORSAIR. It's going to be north over on the other side to face off against them. Ready is NaVi, and we can talk a little bit about them as a team. We can talk about North as a team, or I can introduce you to my analyst as we watch these teams get set up, get ready, prepared, and, well, all things considered, get inside of the actual server. My name being Trey Saranthus alongside of Christine Chi. And we've got an actual Chad, everybody. An actual Chad Burchill. Here he is, ready to go.
It's been a while, Trace. I feel like I haven't seen you in days.
We haven't done this in so long.
It's crazy.
Unreal.
It's crazy. No, but this one here, I am very excited about. All these roster changes coming into this event right here. The NaVi one is the most exciting for me. People are excited about the Swedish changes. People are excited about, you know, the French scene shuffling it up. No one should care about those. Don't get that out of your head. This one right here is a chance for another team to enter the elite because simple with Blade coaching. Ooh.
And then there's this whole Guardian aspect, but you know what? We'll get there.
Okay, sorry. I'm a little excited.
Me.
I've had too much coffee.
Me too, man. I've got this cold brew just running through my veins, this monster energy on top of that. My goodness, now we're ready to jump into the groups. So let's take a look at it. What does this group mean? What is it all about? That's going to be the biggest question on my mind. So run that graphic, and what do we got here, Chad?
So look, this one here is going to be Group B, if you can do with Bs. But look, Mouse Sports are one that you should be looking for. North, of course, as well, NaVi. The roster changes for the likes of NIP are going to be, I don't want to say interesting. Let's say something to witness is probably the best way to put those. Optic here, they showed some decent form over there in New York against Liquid, who were struggling, so that is the best of one as well. Could go either way. But EG, the ESL1 New York champions, undefeated. Look at them go.
EG phone home.
Oh, that's not a bad one.
Sorry, guys. I'll be here all week long. Don't worry.
We didn't workshop that over there in New York, so no. I see you've been doing some prep.
Yeah, I've just had a lot of time on the airplane. Christine, just looking at this team, talk to me a little bit about North.
I mean, North, first of all, those jerseys, they look really sharp, right? I mean, I think North has been a team in 2019 that's found a lot of different kinds of successes, right? They haven't really found successes on the leaderboards or getting Ws on the for their records, but they have been going through a lot of different roster changes. I mean, with Valde coming in with an IGL, and the struggle that I think Heroic North are running into is the barrier of being a top 10 team or top 15 team and trying to break into that top 10 team era. I think the nuances and the differences of these types of teams is so small, so minor that it takes a lot of time for these teams to get there.
Well, there's just something a little bit different about this next young gentleman we're going to talk about, and I don't mean that in any sort of bad way or any negative way. He's just stood out, and I don't know if it's that magnificent hairdo that he has that rivals that of Nick Carter.
Talking about me?
No, sorry, Chad. Maybe next year, maybe next lifetime. But no, I'm talking about big hair, big plays. It's KRB, and we're going to get down and dirty and learn a little bit about him from him direct.
Yeah, right. Kirby. I keep saying his name on Kirby.
Finally, but not least, Kirby!
Oh, you're going to pull off the right. Looking for more, there's the quad kill. All of them headshots, look at that.
Your champions of DreamHack Masters Stockholm 2018, North!
You need to have true love for Counter-Strike in order for it being worth it, because you have to fit in your personal life after Counter-Strike, and that can be really difficult, and you really need the passion, and you need to have it as like almost your biggest goal as being one of the best, because otherwise you won't make it. It will be tough no matter what, but you have to fight for it. This wasn't hard to pick a moment that means a lot to me, because this was very recently as well. And it was just a daily, like a weekend thing. I went to visit my grandmother. Every time I visit her, and that's not as often as I want because we travel a lot, she's just always so happy and grateful just to see her grandkids and her family. And I told her my biggest dreams was to go and win again, and she was really happy to hear I enjoyed life and these kind of things, but also taught me that even though your dreams might not always come when you expect it, you should still just enjoy it and learn from your defeats as well, and that's what I'm gonna keep trying to do. The event that has impacted my career the most is probably leaving Astralis. It's been almost 2 years now, and it's still kind of connected to me, I feel. So I still need to figure out how to learn from it, like how I can become a better player all the time, and I need to live out of the Astralis shadow in some kind of way and find my own way to winning again and to success, right? Because that's what I dream about, is winning the big titles, and I've been there once, and I want to do anything to be back there and playing in the big arenas and on the big stages, because that's when I feel like this insane feeling that how much Counter-Strike means to my life is the adrenaline rush and 10,000 people cheering, and it's just, yeah, that's the dream.
And you know what? It's a huge part of our lives as well, and especially when you load up the Undertaker on the other side of this 2-box. That's when you know it's time to wake up and smell the roses.
I don't know if Simple has a personal life. I think he just has Counter-Strike, right? Because the amount he plays. But it's a good point. You know, there's a lot to balance here, and these are young kids who are going through a lot, Trace.
Yeah, a lot to go through, but we're going to jump right into the vetoes nonetheless. A best of one still here on the cards for both of these teams. NaVi versus North, and where are we going? Only time will tell.
Overpass. Anyway, I have a Jacob Pimp Vinicky bombshell to drop. I was talking to him in the green room earlier, and he said, Chad, I got something for you.
Okay.
Guess who's in-game leading? And I said, I got no idea. He said, Gade. Gade's in the middle now. He's taken over in-game leadership. That's from Jacob himself, and you know he's a man of honor, so we'll take that one for gospel. But this is a talking point because Valde took over the role. He wasn't shining in terms of the individual performances that he was previously. For Gade to take that, it's going to be quite interesting because on certain positions, certain roles, Gade's in the front line. So I'm going to be curious to see how this one pans on out.
I mean, this gave Valde an opportunity to kind of put himself out there in the front running, right? He's like really setting himself up for plays, really out there outshining a lot of his teammates. What will this mean for the impact on Valde?
That's the question, right? I think they need him to stay and remain as one of the stars because Yugi just hasn't been delivering in the fashion that we need him to yet. I don't know if they're ever going to be able to facilitate him, but this is another point that we need to push home, is at the DreamHack events in freeze time, the coaches can talk, right? That's going to be huge as well for NaVi, having this change with Guardian and having Blade coming in. And that's why I was so excited for Blade. He's a legend.
He is. Let's talk about this team right here in Guardian and what is going to be Nada Sincere going forward. We know that there was a change. There's this whole dramatic thing about Zeus leaving, and now that's all done and dusted. Now they can focus on the Counter-Strike.
Exactly, and there's been a lot of talks online and on the forums and such with why would you want to bring Simple off of the AWP? He's probably one of the best snipers that we have within the scene, but when you're thinking about this on paper, you bring Guardian in, this guy is a rock. He's got that consistent form. He's not going to make the rookie mistakes, and so what this allows you is consistent play throughout. You know what to expect from Guardian. He's not going to go overperform, and he's certainly not going to underperform, and I think this frees up a lot of room for players like Simple, players like Electronic to go out there and just make the steps and spaces necessary for his team.
Chad, I think she just said C's get degrees.
No. Let me, because I 100% agree with Christine in this situation. I was an advocate of having an AWP player come in to take the role and allow Simple to be a hybrid. He's the best player in the world. It's the same as Zywi. These guys can do everything. Give the guy a P250. That's fine. They'll get the action done no matter what they have. Guardian here, he's now the veteran of this squad. He's the oldest guy on this team, and he can do exactly what Christine said. He can just be a stable force, but he can also go off. We've seen it time and time again. So he has that flexibility to his gameplay, which is now going to allow, imagine like a trio like this roaming around the map. Boomich entry fragging with Simple and Electronic in tow. I don't want to be a CT anywhere on the map. I'm scared just thinking about it. This NaVi roster now has true elite potential, and the baggage of the Zeus era, the era of sitting in the server and yelling at each other to work through your problems, that's gone.
Right. I mean, not only is Zeus gone, Kane is gone. Now, what we're talking about is a leadership element. What we're talking about is a leadership element of this team just being fully taken away, and insert another one. Is it going to be as easy as plug and play? I think is a lot of the questions around this NaVi lineup. We're going to have to wait on those for just a second. NaVi getting situated here, and as much as you would like to say it, Chad, I know that you're happy about all of these changes. Now we have to focus on North and I guess some of the things that they've got going on.
Well, just so people can just understand, there's no disrespect to the Zeus era. I loved what Zeus brought to the team, but this is a new-looking NaVi going forward, right? And potentially a new-looking North, because these guys are still quite young. They've stayed together as a unit for some time, and now that they've changed in-game leader again, maybe this is necessary because we were starting to see more out of AZ. Kirby was finding more consistency. You get Valde fragging. Now you have a trio. Yugi gets a little bit more flexibility in that regard. regard. And Gade is, I guess we can call him a safe pair of hands, good for 2. So if all of those elements can function well, and the same thing applies, Mytha can help out now in freeze time. So they have that safety net in this environment right here to fall back on. So this is, in my opinion, game of the day.
Absolutely, and I think I gotta agree with this change. I really like the fact that Gade is taking over that in-game leadership role. I think throughout the whole duration of North's performance, Gade has been kind of, not a shining light, but he's always been there. And as you mentioned, he is gonna be good for 2. He's that support player, and he doesn't get any of the glory, right? He doesn't show up on that scoreboard really necessarily with players like Caribbean and Valdi in the server. So this is actually really good for Gade. I think this is gonna bode well for North.
But let's put some expectations on this, because yes, North has, they've come to Stockholm, they've won a DreamHack Masters, they've done this, they've done that. But for all intents and purposes, voting in Twitch chat might not have an effect on this one either. Whether they beat NaVi here, whether they go all the way to win the tournament, that is going to be my big questions around this North lineup. Can we get hyped around them?
I think we can. I mean, I think NaVi is going to come out swinging, as Chad is very excited about this lineup. I am as well. But if we look on paper, the head-to-head, North is actually up 10-4 versus NaVi. So on paper, it's been kind of strange. I think that with NaVi's kind of downward trajectory there during the summer months, it kind of has a little bit to do with it, but I mean, North certainly has the players behind their team to make this competitive.
Yeah, I just don't know if they have the killer nature, right? That's the thing which always separates me with this North team. They have so much star potential, but they've just never lived up to it all consistently. And once we can see that, then we can get excited. But we've all been heartbroken by this team time and time again. How's it going, Flamey?
That's a big flame dog.
But yeah, look, I think that this North roster, it's just prove it to us, Whereas NaVi, I'm getting super excited because they have to prove it as well, but the potential for them, the threshold, the chance for them to be a top 4, top 5 team consistently going up against the Astralis, the Liquids, the EGs, that is why I'm so hyped right now.
How about them just going up against NaVi right now in Overpass? Who do you guys have? We're going to start with you, Chad. Starting on NaVi in North, who do you take? I'm
a religious man, so a blind leap of faith into Blade and his new project right now. So I'm going with NaVi, and I think it's going to be relatively clear-cut.
Next victim, please come down.
I've got to go with NaVi as well. I think Simple's going to come in here and just be very explosive, but I do believe that North is going to make this very competitive.
Well, I think we're way too close to Denmark to be voting against the home team around here.
That's all right. You can walk across the bridge if you want. It's bloody
really
cold outside.
But also, I still do have a little bit of wit in me, even though a slight jet lag. So I think I'm going to have to side with Not as Sincere as well. So there it is, unanimous. We're all looking at NaVi to win this one, and I think it's strictly based a little bit on firepower. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, look, I just think when you have Electronic and Simple on the same team, and now you have Blade who can bring a system to this team, allow them to be flexible as well. So the names we're talking about are just absolutely insane. Flamey always seems to perform at majors. You've obviously got Boomages come in. I was very impressed with him doing his entry frag work. It just all seems like these parts can click. It's whether they will is the proving ground of right now.
Yeah, the timing of them clicking is just something else. But the clicking you've been doing inside of the Twitch chat is not going to go unnoticed. We can take a look at the poll results. I asked you guys to vote, and it would appear as though we're all on the same wavelength around here. We all kind of figure out what's about to happen. NaVi might just be about to Hulk smash North.
Look, this is the unknown, right? I don't know how much you guys set the tone of this coming in here, but this event is, we all get to learn. It's a learning experience for everybody, right? For us to come in here and do a lot of prep, yeah, we can look at the tendencies of but with coaching changes, with player changes, with 2 guys rocking up and we're not knowing until they're playing until the night before for G2. What can we possibly look at and understand? Not a lot, but what can we have? A lot of fun, and we can learn things on the fly, and the post-game segments that we're going to have are going to be fantastic. The pre-game stuff might be lacking a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, what it's lacking is just a real ability to look at these teams and examine them for what they are other than names on a paper. Until we've seen them get in the server, until we've seen them actually do something in the server right now, this is kind of speculation.
Look, when we saw NaVi at the major, they looked so janky and disjointed. Nothing made sense. I hated the calling. They were getting timed out on rounds constantly. It just wasn't a team who looked like they had a game plan. Now that Zeus is gone, it's like cutting off the head of the snake, right? This is a chance for all these players to come through with a fresh take. He's helped them out a lot, right? He's turned them into men. That's what Zeus was. He was a leader of men. But now these guys have learned from that, and they have a chance with the young fragging talent they have in this team to go forward and be one of the best teams in the world. This is the platform. This is it.
So it's kind of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing where,
You've seen that?
Yeah.
This is no, seriously, this is a really good point. Blade, at one point in his career, picked to play with Flamey, Simple, and Electronic. He scouted all of those players. He's also the reason that Boomich is in this team. He picked Boomich for this squad as well. So the only player that he hasn't scouted throughout, you know, coming up through the ranks is Guardian, and we already know he's proven.
And as you mentioned, Chad, Boomich, his aggression coming into this NaVi lineup, I think it really bodes well for NaVi. Certainly we see it more often than not, newer players coming into very established lineups surrounded by veterans. Sometimes that new fifth, he kind of turtles up. He's not able to show his personality in game with his flair and trying to win rounds for himself and for his team. But Boomich, he's coming into this NaVi lineup, and from the get-go, he's in the enemy's faces, he's pushing, he's flanking. His aggression hasn't slowed down while joining NaVi, and I don't think it's going to slow down.
Yeah, and certainly we're not going to slow down either, as it's time to get into the game, which is what we're going to do right now. Overpass, North, not a Sincere. That's what's on the cards. We're going to see what Guardian can do in this jersey, and the time is now to do just that. So let's jump into Overpass with your commentators.
Thank you very much, Trace, Potter, and Sponge. Yes, another delectable Counter-Strike treat.
Absolutely.
Chad says it's the game of the day. He's got some blind faith, as he put it, in NaVi. What about you? Let's hear your stance on Guardian back in a NaVi jersey.
I think it's a really cool change.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's talking about Simple not being on the AWP, but I want him as a secondary AWP. I want him to have versatility, not just locked into one role. He is world-class with every single discipline within CSGO, and Guardian has proven himself time and time again to be that solid sniper that you can rely on. He's not the Guardian of old, who's not going to be carrying the team anymore, but he knows what he has to do, and he'll be making correct and sensible decisions, I feel. Talking about North as well, they've had not necessarily lineup changes, but they've had a change within the ranks in terms of in-game leadership. They've now got Gade leading the role, and at this point, I'm actually happy with that, because Valda, everyone was excited to win into the in-game leadership role, but ultimately, he dropped off. We don't see him as a star player anymore, and I feel like Gade, he's a sensible young man. He'll be able to call what's needed and allow Valda to do absolutely everything he needs to do.
I think the trade-off is going to be visible. Give it a whole event and then take a look at the stats. But if this is enough to, you know, maintain some degree of consistency in the calling and still have Valda, you know, unburdened with that, with the leadership, I think that's a recipe for success. If Valda goes back to his old ways, then the firepower trade-off is worth it. If there's some consistency in their success in the calling. So down to Gade, down to Valda. Eyes on them, but I think the analyst desk kind of hit the nail on the head. Prove it. I think there's still and always will be this tag attached to North, because there's been there's a lot of promise, both, you know, from individuals and from the names in the server. I was talking about their social media, of course. It just sounded like I just said the same thing twice, but still, Overpass will be the map. We'll get to see NaVi on Overpass. It's a map that they've certainly had some iconic plays on in the past.
Well, we will be getting into the action very shortly. Got a slight technical issue here from the north side. They'll be starting the CT side of Overpass here. A good testing ground, a very technical map. As Chad said, the last outing at the major for NaVi was a disappointing one. From a tactical point of view, they looked off, they looked very flat, and understandably so. Their new changes were coming, and they should be rejuvenated now. We should see the best from them. There's the new in-game leader, Boomich, who will be leading the charge here on Overpass. Be interested to see what kind of game plan they bring to the table. I can confirm they're going to buy up 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs, and a Molotov, so it'll be something quite technical here, presumably towards the A side with that sort of buy, but with the Molotov, it could go towards B as well with the barrels molly. We will see as North just sort out their issue. Looks like they're ready to go now, and I guess we'll ask your prediction as well, Alex. Where are you going towards this one?
You know, I think I am, as always, just regurgitating Chad's opinion. I think I'm going to say promise for NaVi, blind faith perhaps. Seeing Simple not burdened by being that primary AWP. The thing what he said in the interview about it is that, you know, there are times where he's going somewhere out of necessity, not out of desire. And I think with a player like Simple, he should always be going where he wants, admittedly, within the confines of the call. But I think this new freedom is going to be a really, really big deal for NaVi and for Simple going forward, if that is, of course, Guardian fills that void necessary. Let's jump in.
Let's do it. Gade with the defuse kit and the smoke. We'll have a look at the initial setup here from both teams. An aggressive stance from the CT, sending 3 players towards a connected position here. AZ with the USB in hand to face check that position first. And in terms of the setup from NaVi, they are going to focus towards A with 4 players towards a playground for now. It's Simple towards a connected position, just trying to sniff out the opposition here. But he's got his work cut out for him. 3 players here. If he gets 1, I'll be impressed. He's going to be swung on now, and he knows it. He's so ready for this, Alex.
He knows where 2 more are, though, and he's gone for the burst shot, gets 2.
Don't see that too often.
Gosh, he had no right to even get the first with a crossfire established like that, but he finds the gap. A little bit of an overextension cost them. And now North, they're going to have to scramble. The site's wide open, and NaVi, ooh, great catch. Kirby finding the head of Flamey, enables the bomb to be loose. That will slow them down. Boomich punching the digits in. Guardian responsible for toilets. This is where Yugi resides, and his teammate Kierby's going for the long route around. Appropriately, too long. Gade coming from behind. Good connection from Yugi. 2 remain. Boomich, Electronic, both on the site. Goes aggressive, catches stairs, and now can retreat. He's got a good idea of at least where one of them's coming from.
Yeah, massive advantage now for NaVi with the bomb planted. Kierby down to 7 points of health. They do not have a kit right now. Gade did have one initially. As shots are exchanged from a 1 bullet towards Kierby will take him down as the bomb ticks away at some pace. Now the kit has been picked up. There's still 2 players to find, and he's the low HP as well. Diffuse coming through. Is it going to be enough? Not quite. Boomich will take both of them down there. Lovely work from NaVi, especially from Simple as well. He had his work cut out for him. The sole player towards a connected position up against 3. He takes 2 of them and manages to cause such a distraction towards that side of the map. His teammates do crack open the A side, no problem. Kierby with a lovely shot towards the A side to delay them and actually give some time for the rotations there. But the burst fire, I can't stress enough. You don't see that too often because it doesn't seem that viable in CSGO. Previous iterations of CS, burst fire on FAMAS and Glock was great, but CSGO has no love at all. But it works out for this round, and we'll have a full eco here from North as they go for a 3-man boost. Flamey doesn't have the ideal weapon to shut this one down. Does he commit any further? Needs a flashbang before he fully commits. There's the flash. And he hasn't checked the boost spot, but now he has. Lovely work. He knows 3 are there. Wants to throw the HE, not the smoke. Might not have a setup where he has the nades bound to a specific key. I'm not sure, but shouldn't have a lot of smoke there. Doesn't seem to matter either way. And it will be the first kill for him.
Yeah, they know exactly where 3 members of the CT side were. Past tense, admittedly. It was a slow reaction initially from NaVi, but that's not going to dissuade them from pushing towards where the stack was spotted. You know, it's going to be a low investment, if anything, from North, and so they continue their advance. Good catch from Guardian with the UMP. Simple's going to be there as well to match him. And the intention to see, bit of a warning shot. Love tap, and Alder, with his USP, gets the 1 tap, takes the head off Electronic. And we'll just try and find him a secondary frag, but Guardian's there. Excuse me, Boomich. And so 2-0. It will be time for North to buy, and time to see if they can weather the storm of the first real T side. I imagine with Flamey's Mac 10, we could see some pace.
We'll see. This is the sort of round you want to head towards B with a lot of players on your side. It's going to be Guardian with the AK-47, Flamey with that Mac 10, and there's Yugi with no armor at all. AZ without the helmet. Yugi's been underperforming the last year or so. I'm not sure what happened to him. He used to be a star player in terms of raw potential. Haven't really seen that at all, but always going to be dangerous. We're always wondering if he's going to turn up, and hopefully he does. Want to see Guardian get a run for his money here, as we'll see the default continue here. Nothing too fast-paced right now. Flamey focusing towards short. There's the Molotov towards the barrels, trying to see if any CTs push off of that. As Boomich, new in-game leader, focuses towards middle. Smokes down to buy some space. Towards that connect, and it's the first kill for Gade. Lovely work from the back at the monster position.
You saw him lining it up as well. It was a very specific spot. He wants not only for visibility for himself, but also just to try and get that off angle. You want to try and catch it just as the T starts to continue their sweep to the right-hand side of the tunnel. It worked perfectly. He gets the first advantage to take that shot, and he profits from it. Now he can retreat. A couple of speculative bullets do whistle past their ears, but no damage done. They can now continue their defense rather passively. Kierby quite the opposite, goes aggressive, tucks himself into the corner with the support of Yugi. Spoke of him earlier.
Yeah, he managed to get the pick towards long as well. That was towards Boomich. So 5 versus 3 now. Valda actually probing towards long and making his way towards the bathrooms here. Kierby tucked in the corner as Flamey will encroach towards the smoke now. It's all down to Yugi. AWP trying to bait his teammates in. NaVi do not look like they're in a good spot at all. Flamey will be the first upon arrival. Kill for NaVi, but that's the only one they're going to get by the looks of things. Simple down to 6 points of health, and nothing he can really do about this. The money's absolutely fine for next round, but if he can save that weapon, that would be ideal. 15 seconds on the clock, more than likely going to do so here. He still has a smoke and a flashbang and a USP in reserve, so might as well hold on to it with 9 seconds remaining. Solid hold there from North, and Simple might be taken down here. 5 seconds remaining. Gade will have to make some noise though, so Simple might have the advantage. He's at the corner, looks like he's going to swing around and preempt it. And he will, but Simple gets the frag just about there as Gade jumps a little bit. Cheeky banana.
And the map isn't even Inferno. More on to be seen as well in front of Valda. It's good to get your potassium, folks. See Kierby's second frag as well. That's the important one, catching Guardian as well, just to confirm it. They had the early man lead, courtesy of Gade and Yugi, but finishing it off was Kierby. Through the Molotov. Smoke's there to save Guardian a couple of ticks, but now look at the aggression from Kierby. He could actually catch them off guard here. Guardian, he's jumping for info, will get more than he bargained for. Aggressive push from Kierby is rewarded though. No trade available. Simple's actually just going to Be a little late to this arrival.
Yeah, that's really nice from Kiabi. I like that confidence from himself. He's got the AK-47. He feels like he can win out in the 1 versus 1 duel. He certainly does. Boomich, though, completely sabotages their efforts as he manages to get towards a party position. Now back to the 4-on-4. Kiabi removed. Bomb still down towards the T-spawn position. Flamey holding towards short, as you can see, waiting for any sort of reactive play from the counter-terrorists here. Boomich will patrol towards middle as they start to transition towards the B-bomb site. They still have a couple of smokes, HGs as well. 1 minute on the clock, and Gade's pushing towards Monster, so he's going for big intel plays here. This could work out very nicely. If he just tucks himself in a corner, it could be enough to take down a couple of players here. First impression found now, but really not a clean spray at all. He could have got a lot more out of that.
Wow, prime position, execution, quite the opposite. Now AZ looking for his first frag. It's round 4, they look to commit fully in towards B. He is the only man there. He has to find the multi-kill. They're going to hunt him down. Like bloodhounds, Electronics the one to find the frag, and now with just 2 left, it's probably the save call.
That was such a nice push from Gade. Had he had just tucked himself into a sneaky corner, could have been on for a couple of frags there. He was in position to still get 1, but the aim just wasn't there, wasn't ready for it at all. That's going to be a disappointing finish for the round, considering Kiabi opened things up in such an emphatic manner. And we'll see it go down to a 4 versus 2 round, pretty much guaranteed for NaVi at this stage, as Valda and Yugi will hold on to the M4 and the AWP respectively. You can see the sniper holding towards long as NaVi do hunt a little bit here. We've got Flamey heading towards CT steps, coming towards the A bomb side now. Electronic waiting for the playground position. Valda will find 1 as he does hold on to the M4. Looks like both players will survive here. Yugi has been detected but doesn't need to swing again. If he does, he probably gets the kill. It looks like he's got it. Not quite. He will hold on to the weapon though. Yeah. Absolutely fine in that regard. And we're so ready for a Guardian AWP. That's what I want to see here.
Oh gosh, yeah, what an exciting prospect. In a NaVi jersey, no less. For those of you not keeping track of Counter-Strike, Guardian leaving NaVi to join FaZe Clan in pursuit of the international superstar roster. Didn't quite go to plan. Still hasn't got a major trophy in his cabinet despite being such an iconic name in the world of competitive Counter-Strike. And now joining the Orc, he really did forge quite the path with. Simple, still no trophy either.
Just a note as well on this tactical timeout. In this tournament, coaches can talk in the freeze time of every round. So you won't see as many timeouts here. They're able to chime in and give their 2 cents at the beginning of every single round here. But definitely a chance to calm down, calculate the next round and work out whether you're going to buy, especially. Looks like they're opting against on the north side. Going to take the eco here. With the saved AWP and the M4, they could have bought into it with SMGs, but looking at the bigger picture, best of 1, so don't want to sabotage their own finances going forward. Really need to see Yugi go off in this round, though. There's going to be a chance.
Yeah, they're putting all the weight on Valda and Yugi. Yugi obviously wants to bring the fight to NaVi. He's perhaps overstaying his welcome just a little bit. We'll start to back off towards the underpass as a smoke arrives to aid his escape. And so far, nothing to get too worried about. The smoke, however, does obscure his vision. He won't be able to hold party from the very steps Guardian has named after him to some players. Standard mid-take. Just posturing at this point. There is no commitment from NaVi, and with Guardian tucked into the corner, he should be able to catch Kirby off guard and does so with ease.
Yeah, nice work from Guardian, but now here comes the real challenge. The AWP of Yugi decides to fall back for now. Very strong position towards that A side for Orpas. Difficult to shut it down once they get going. Oh, this is a lovely spot from Valda. He's guaranteed himself a frag and no trade potential here from NaVi. They haven't even cleared out the bathrooms yet. He should have been a little bit more aware of that factor, but nice positioning will yield a 4-on-4 situation for the CTs. Yugi's still alive and kicking, so both weapons on this side of the map. If NaVi continue here, they could be in trouble.
I think they're going to send a scout. Looks like Flamey's been given the job as they do descend. Making no secret of a change of plans, though. It does enable the CTs to set themselves up. Gade, AZ, admittedly, not with weapons. It is going to be just the Desert Eagle, no armor for either of them. Distinct advantage for NaVi on this take. Sees the head and eliminates it. Great work from Guardian, but the AWP still in play. Valda's rifle is still in play, and they're finding all the frags necessary. It's electronic. It was electronic. Past tense. AZ's Deagle makes sure of that, and now puts Flamey in a 1 versus 3. A tall order, and Valda, he has had a huge round. Finds his third to conclude it, and North, with just 2 weapons, find their second.
Well, there we have it. North finding a couple of free frags at the start there, going through the default. NaVi not too much synergy there towards the bathrooms. A lot of 1v1s, challenging angles where they haven't necessarily cleared out that position. The bathroom comes to mind especially. They give that frag up and then rotate towards B, which is a little bit telegraphed there. This was the frag, the real important one. Allowed them to really focus towards the B side. Nice crossfire setup from the CTs and a good, strong flank coming in from Valda. It's going to bring things into 3-2. And remember, they didn't have to invest much cash at all in that previous round. As we get into it, round 6. Still no AWP for Guardian. He's got a Deagle once again. They haven't really got going in the finances, even though they're up 3-2. Going to send 5 players towards B here. Molotov towards the barrels to kick things off. Might just push through Monster off of this, to be honest with you. We'll see if that's the case. We do have Gade once again positioned in front of the Monster tunnel. So we in front of Flashbangs, and we'll see if that works out for him right now.
Oh, it's a great start, but just traded. Flamey's flash catches Gade. He's full white as he finds us first. Into the side they flood. Valda is there alongside AZ, but the smoke slowing them down. Electronic finds an angle around the smoke, and speaking of smokes, Heaven is there, but pushed. Look at Kierby. Goes straight through the Heaven smoke and finds the frag onto Electronic. He can disappear now. Valda's still on the site. He can contest that plant should they go for it. Not now. Simple from short. Tagged as Yugi makes his presence known with the AWP. 1 HP on Flamey, but it doesn't stop him getting that bomb down.
He's down. Surely the flames touch him, but still, no, he continues. AWP for Yugi, but such low health for Kiabi, and he's so far away as well. Yugi with the AWP won't be able to do much of this one until his teammate arrives. Does he decide to fall back off this? Maybe, considering his teammate's situation.
Yeah.
Looks like NaVi have done enough. It's a scrappy round and low HP on 2 players, but they make it work.
Yeah, it couldn't be much lower. 17 points of health between 2 players on NaVi. Guardian, had he made more of a mess of that frag onto Gade, it could have been a problem, but very precise. In that headshot angle, Kierby, he's got a good inkling as to where Flamey's going to be hiding. Let's try and catch him here. This could be an AK gone. Oh, didn't quite see him. Legs right there. He's staring right at him with his knife out. Well, that's a funky turn of events.
Yeah, not ideal, but I guess he didn't die, so no harm, no foul. 4-2, NaVi take the lead once again with the play towards B. It looked like Gade's position would yield a couple of frags there, but just the one, a decent trade from NaVi, as money is still pretty strong for North, considering they won an eco round before. They'll have the AW in the hands of Yugi once again. Still no sign of that for Guardian. Flamey to hold the B push. The incendiary extinguishes stun. Now you have to extinguish that, otherwise you risk the CTs getting towards playground and the party position, and that's fine. North know it's going to be extinguished, but it baits out a smoke on the T side, which is very important.
Valuable utility drawn early. And more as Flame does land in underpass. Good connection from Boomich.
Good shot.
Yugi's got a lot to do here. They do both vacate long though, and he'll get that information soon. Flamey, however, calling too short.
The fact they get their kill towards long, you can see how quickly they transition towards B here. They're going to go for a B execution, hoping they'll keep Yugi on that side of the map. Valda, though, he's pushing long, so he knows that there's a good chance they're rotating all the way towards B. Yugi's going to actually start transitioning at this stage as well. So full B execution, but once again, telegraphed. They haven't really acted quickly upon this one. They're going to go for a contact play, but the CTs know exactly what's coming.
They work it out time after time, but let's see if they can profit from it. Very similar scenes this time, though. AZ's there to back him up, and in a very big way. Lovely from AZ. Previously, Gade went 1 for 1, but there was no one there. This time, AZ's right there behind him. And that turns the tide of this round completely. He can back away. Job done. Round over, unless Simple, of all players to be left in the clutch, more than capable. Anticipating a flank, at least acknowledging it with his crosshair placement. 20 seconds. Gets the frag he was looking for on AZ, knows Yugi's going to be close and enables him to get that bomb down. Valda, however, is coming from Monster. What's his chances here? What is his plan? He's going to get pushed by Valda. Wasn't ready for all those pushes, and so another one on the board for North.
Well, there we go. The first pick for NaVi, but a little bit too slow on the play. The call was to get back towards B, but they didn't really pounce on it. They allowed North to investigate everything towards long. Valda called it was clear. Yugi could rotate towards B, and AZ steps up and goes above and beyond for his teammates. The crouching spray on this one as well is just marvelous. Does so much damage, continues it, takes 3 down in total. As I mentioned, it was just a little bit too obvious there. It didn't really react fast enough on the NaVi side, but still with another buy, Guardian down to the pistol once again. It'll be Desert Eagle. Same story with Simple, as they have 3 rifles overall. Strong round from North as they look towards middle. Yugi can't get at the shot, but does spot one crossing towards the playground. That's going to be Boomich and Guardian. They've got the bomb on their back, as Flamey will hold for the pushes towards B. We've also got Electronic and Simple working in tandem towards that connector. One of them goes down, though. A lovely wall bang from AZ there. He's very happy with that.
Yeah, you can see he's moving while doing the spray as well, not only for the spread, but also for survivability. They can shoot straight back. And the trace up, more than obvious. Smoke's not going to do anything to stop the wallbang. He has the lineup he wants, but won't find Simple. The idea of the NaVi play being telegraphed is really resonating with me because so fresh in my mind is the grand finals we saw over in New York, and
yeah.
you get to see just how quickly Astralis would react. They get the information that Valda did, and they're already on the site. You know, like Glaive just holds W and walks in.
Well, that's what CS is all about, really, down to its fundamentals. When you've lost a player and you have a disadvantage, you need to scout information. We talk about it so much, but that was it personified just there. You can see how vital that was to them winning the round. Either way, it's Kiabi continuing their assault towards the bathroom position. All for playing a great game so far. Really enjoying this as they go into a 3 versus 2 now. Boomich and Guardian left remaining, and it's going to be Guardian. Decent position now, has the AK-47. Great shot towards CT. That gets him right back in this round. He's having a great game on the rifle so far. Hasn't had to pick up the AWP, but a low health Boomich will be found.
He's got 2. He'd need 2 more. Knows where one's coming from. Exposes himself to toilets. He's really got to piece this one together. He knows where they're both coming from. This is perfect for Guardian. The smoke makes the fight awkward. He can't find the precision he needs onto Gade. Now they're chipping away at him. They can push together. And North, they're impressing Henry. And they're impressing themselves. 4-4. Good holds so far. That's going to be 2 in a row.
Absolutely is. Lovely stuff there. That's surely the eco at this point. Even the bomb going down, lost bonus not quite established yet. Guardian, nice work with the AK-47, but North are actually playing a very solid CT side here. You can see Gade's in-game leader effect coming through, that's for sure. Nice setups, good reactive play, and great wall bangs as well. AZ with the nade to blow out the door, then following up with spray as they'll take a partial buy here in round number 9. We're going to have the Eagles and a CZ. Guardian now taking the full eco, so you could have the AWP next round, Alex, and that's what we want to see. That's when they really get going.
That's what we've been waiting for. T-side overpass, not the easiest, and a missed shot. Kirby will follow up though, catching Boomich nice and early. Do they have a smoke for him? Usually Yugi not able to take that line. NaVi, however, had to make some financial sacrifices. There is just one smoke in play. Likely want to save it for potential push towards that site. Yugi's going to be pressured in toilet. It's going to have to fall back. Warning shot. Second miss as well. He's desperately trying to find himself some new cover and has managed to do so, with Valda always getting this timing right. It's the second time we've seen him do it. Another one caught. And this one will be the 5th for North.
Look at Valda again, in the back. Here's a thorn in their side. He's reading the game so well. You can see him really feeling himself at this point. But there it is, the lead for North, 5-4 on the CT side. Best of 1. First showing for both of these teams, and Guardian finally brings out the AWP. This one they can actually run their default now and hopefully be a little bit more aware of the backstabs that keep coming in and sabotaging their efforts towards both bomb sites here. Need to keep an eye on it, but still a compromise to be made. Boomich only with the Desert Eagle. A couple of AKs to go with it. Simple on the Krieg. In terms of the CT approach, pretty standard for now. Kiabi going towards a connector, however. He's got the M4, and Yugi will get the first. Guardian dropped.
That was exactly what we wanted to see. Guardian AWP, but Yugi quick to take it out of play. Now revenge. Simple catching AZ on his wallbang spot. Just like that, they find the equalizer, and Simple didn't even have to see his opponent. Big step in the right direction. Smoke won't stop Kirby, though. It could even aid him to go for that without the threat of water control. It's exactly where Flamey finds himself.
Well then, they have 1 smoke, 2 flashes and a Molotov. Really not ideal for an execution here. Desperately need another frag, and Valda digging himself in towards the bathrooms. Once again, shots in the back. That's a decent flashbang though, not the cleanest of kills, but no damage taken. Rifle found at least as Kiabi looks to have another free kill here. He's going to be going towards the connector, but Simple, he will smell him out, and it's going to be, at this point, 45 seconds remaining. Yugi, Gade, separated for now, but Gade's pushing towards the connector. They've been so reactive here. I love this from North. Very impressive stuff.
Yeah, they are not falling into predictable traps, that's for sure. Nice catch from Gade. He now has thrown somewhat of a curveball towards NaVi. They slow right down, losing the man advantage, and Gade can completely disappear. Look how far he's gone back round, all the way through B, rotating now back towards the spawn side.
Yeah, NaVi are really struggling with these pushes. 2 on 2, 15 seconds remain. They'll head towards B, which is actually the right approach. A couple of nice smokes thrown towards A to suggest that's where they're heading, but they've got an open B site here. 2 of the deadliest players on the server right now, Simple and Electronic, in a 2 versus 2. All from the retake is not ideal as Yugi starts to make his way, presumably towards Heaven. Electronic, oh, it's such a strong position. It's going to be so difficult to flash him out.
Both just look almost impossible to take a successful fight. Yugi would have to hit the fastest of flicks to catch Simple, especially given his off angle here. Tap of the head, nice from Yugi, but Electronic, it was such a prime position, he doesn't have to move a muscle. Yugi does have a smoke and a kit though, that's where his pressure could come from. Instead he goes hunting and the comms, or perhaps the expectation just wasn't there. I was expecting Electronic to have repositioned, presents his bottom. Electronic will punish, 5-5.
Yeah, Yugi had no idea. He thought he had moved on towards the CT side, but not meant to be. That was the opening kill. A wallbang courtesy is Simple. AZ getting a taste of his own medicine, and this was the play. That was the one that really decided the round there. Simple aware of the fact that they are flanking almost every single round here. Orb for Guardian once again, 7 kills to his name. None with the Orb just yet. Another buy available for North, and money starting to be drained now. UMP for AZ, normally playing towards that B side, pushes off towards shore here, trying to get a little bit closer towards the short pipe. Holding in position for now. This could be a big fight with the MAC-10. Just hearing the footsteps, Flamey will just throw a nade and fall back.
Electronic, he's got to hit fast. Not threatened by the Yugi presence the round prior. He caught Guardian, this time it's Gade. Perfect timing on that Molotov. They won't be able to commit to that one. In fact, it causes them to scurry away. No bomb in any NaVi player's hands at this point. They've left it towards the B take.
Yeah, they certainly have. So they're coordinating a B approach at this point. You can see a nice stack to look over towards the bomb site. It works out. Simple with a lovely kill towards AZ. Does try and get the second as well. As ambitious with the jumping shot. Boomich will find it, however, and we're going to have a 5 versus 3 now. 50 seconds. Now needs to be very aware that these North players will be trying to flank them. They'll be trying to get advantages back, and that's what Yugi's trying to do at this point as well. Trying to lock down the A side of the map so he can have 2 players focusing towards B. He's got full information on this side with the connector presence, but he doesn't know that Boomich is actually pushed towards long, so he might need to fall back towards the A side at this point. Smokes the bathrooms, buy himself a little bit of space. 30 seconds remaining, and Boomich will throw himself in towards A, but the bomb's ready towards B, as you can see. So he'll try and do what he can. If he gets a clean kill, they can still go back towards the A side here as they detect Gade.
He actually has done a fantastic job of getting out of a rather awkward position, enables him to support Valda in the fight on Simple. Now they can set themselves up. It's good frags from the CTs, but it does leave Yugi. Still 3 standing from NaVi, and this should be their round. They have just enough time to get that bomb in. 4 seconds to spare. And NaVi, known for running down the clock in yesteryear, right back at it, and this will be their 6th.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice work from Boomich there. Really sabotaged the defense there with the push towards A, backstabbing all the way towards the B site. North were on the back foot with the initial picks found. It was Simple managing to get the boosted kill towards the B bomb site. Boomich walking all the way up towards long, confirmed that he got behind them at enemy lines, and now Yugi to save the AWP. Hasn't found a frag this round. Currently sat towards the CT bank position. Well, will be NaVi to take the lead at this point, 6-5, a strong T side here. It's considered a CT-sided map. A bit of a question mark around this one. We don't know much about these teams, to be honest, with the new look North and their fresh in-game leader, Gade, and then NaVi, of course, bringing in Guardian, who has donned the NaVi jersey plenty of times before, but this is the first outing with this particular lineup. Timeout called. Yeah,
Mytha wanting to have an extra chance to talk on this microphone, so the timeout will be called. Gade turning to his coach. Bouncing ideas off one another is always a possibility with the extra time. But yeah, I mean, it was quite funny, actually. The analysts just, you say we don't know much about these teams. When they were trying to do a pre-match, it was Chad who just said, like, to be honest, we really don't know. We know nothing about these guys. Like, yeah, the post-match, we can provide some analysis on what we've seen, but the gameplay has to do a lot of the talking to start things off, and so do we, because it does look like we're going to be jumping straight back in. Timeout has elapsed. And the score 6-5 on that T side. NaVi holding that lead, and it looks like they're likely to extend it given North's financial situation. Sure, Yugi's great, but where on earth are you going to put him to make that early impact?
Round 12. They decide to take an eco around it. Yugi indeed will have to go for a quick pick here. Hasn't been lighting the scoreboard alight. We'll see whether this is going to be a chance for him to open things up. He's going to have backup on the 2 USP players. Maybe boost one on the shelf, by the looks of things, as Boomich continues with the default here. They are going to have 4 players outside B, however. So Boomich has done a bit of a scouting mission here. We talked about this before in New York about in-game leaders trying to get intel for their teammates and give cues. He goes down. They've confirmed that's where the AWP is, at least. And now they really have to commit towards this B side. But a great position for Gade does not lead to a frag.
Yeah, that's tough. They'll probably want to get Valda on the Boomich AK. The bomb is on its way now through Monster Tunnel. Guardian going to be responsible for that one. But that slight delay has enabled the CTs to regroup. But given the picked up AK and the AWP still in play with the bomb down, no kit, I think they realize that their best shot is to try and bring it into the 13th round. They start to set up a perimeter. Protect the presidents.
Yeah, with the AK and the Orb, two very valuable weapons going forward. Yugi gets one kill. That was on Boomich, but he was on the other side of the map compared to his teammates. As soon as they confirmed that the Orb was in towards that connector position, that was it. They had to go off that point. They knew that was pretty much all they had on the CT side. They've only lost one frag so far, and Simple can justify a bit of a manhunt here. Making his way towards T-spawn. 7-5 confirmed, but they will save the heavy artillery on the CT side. Valda all the way back at those T-steps. Simple's not going to go any further. Round confirmed. Everyone's happy just to hold on to their weapons. Only 2 kills found in round number 12 there. We enter 13. Should be a strong buy for the CTs. Guardian back on the Orb himself. In terms of the scoreboards, we have got Valda and Kiabi at the very top of the CT side with 10 frags apiece. And it'll be Simple, of course, at the top as well. Also with 10 frags. Boomich just beneath him with 9. Who's doing a great job with those solo plays and trying to get information and just trying to be a bit of a nuisance for North.
And you know, being a nuisance is exactly what Boomich has been for NaVi as well. He's been given this responsibility of, regardless, not only extinguishing that Molotov, but being that presence, whether or not there's teammates with him or not. Gade, the monster player. Let's see if that works to describe his performance in this round. Not sure. He wants to go aggressive, and he will, just as the smoke clears. This is perfect from Gade. Great timing. Takes the leaf out of Glaive Book. You get the timing right on a dissipating smoke. It's so easy to catch a T off guard.
Yeah, the fact that Flamey was there watching that push as well, it will be a little bit disappointed they didn't manage to trade that one out. Still, advantage for North. The pushes continue to be successful for them. It's Simple. Holding the connector. Makes a little bit of noise. Gade hears it. See his position now towards the short pipe, just trying to continue the push here. And Simple seems to be potentially aware of it. We'll see if he gets a flash from a teammate. That will confirm if he does.
Yeah, easy. It feels transparent. Of course, we do have X-ray, but it feels like even Simple knows that that's just trying to... Oh, Gade's got another one. They know exactly where he is now, though, and Simple, he just had to lie and wait. He knew he'd have to try and reposition. Smoke towards heaven. Looks like they are going to be committing to this one. Bomb in the hands of Electronic. Boomich a little late to this party, but easy to receive.
Smoke misses. Just to note that. That could be a big deal if the Orb rotates towards that position. Azen, though, so strong with the rifle. He's been having a great defense so far, and he's backed up by Valda. That's going to be round done. 3-on-1, 15 seconds remaining. Boomich just 30 points of health. Really nice stuff. That's all down to Gade, though. He gets himself 2 really strong frags there. The push from Monster couldn't have been timed better. Managed to get the first kill and then reposition for a second. Great stuff, and it will close the gap here. 7-6. You can see Gade enjoying himself there. And rightly so. That was a lovely push here. You can see covered from T-spawn, manages to get that first, and then spots the legs of Guardian, sorry, to take him down.
Nice work from Gade. Not something he's going to be able to get away with or replicate, though. A second time. Well, they're in pursuit of some early information, but I think the information is going to be coming to them, at least in the form of Boomich. Got 2 SMG sacrifices for NaVi, and that's going to be right into Gade's face. He's so fast. Gade was still staring at the wood. And he's going to potentially get another one. No, it instead presents himself. Didn't check the corner. AZ has a real shot. Simple does too. Oh, Kirby. None the wiser. Simple doesn't want to wait too long, and rightfully so, because it leaves Flamey now. At least he got one. Into towards the 1v2. The bomb is about to be on the other side of a smoke wall. Flamey has to win this fight, and he does. Now this 1v1 is oh so doable. Yugi, he's got one shot. One opportunity, and he seizes it. Great work. That's his second in the round, and that's the 7th for North, keeping things level here on Overpass.
Yeah, would have liked to see Flamey do a bit more with that. Just kind of walked into the cross. They knew exactly where Yugi was, and it's a pretty standard angle to hold. But he nails the shot and wins the round and ties things up a 7-7. Wrecks the money as well, going to round number 15. NaVi don't have much to work with at all. Just 1 rifle so far, 4 pistols. They do have 3 smokes and a couple of flashbangs. I'd assume they head towards B, considering the setup. But we'll get into the final round here and see what the CTs have in mind. The spammage towards the B side of the map, but no damage inflicted so far. Bomb holds towards Playground as they look to work towards Long. That could be ambitious considering their current loadout.
Yeah, well, their current loadout did receive somewhat of a gift of a failed Molotov, so Boomich still gets to keep hold of his, normally used to extinguish, but Kirby fluffs his line somewhat. We'll see if that pays any sort of impact in towards this round, a final round of the best of 1 first half. They can boost over this. This will work nicely. Kirby looking to cast his eyes over Long. He gets the information, but willing to fire his bullets as well. So a 3-man lean towards the A site for the CTs. NaVi flashed in. Simple. None the wiser. Wasn't blind. Great connection from Flamey. He gets the rifle now. Really has a chance to throw some hits, especially with the presence from Long from his teammates. Boomich, Electronic, they start to flood in. Yugi, that's an important connection. Misses the second. Can't have the support of his teammate just yet from Bank, and certainly not now, because Boomich has found Valda. Yugi trying to do it all, but he can't. AZ now the last man. Excuse me. Alongside Gade, it's Boomich who's left alone. 30 seconds, a fake and a retreat. 30 seconds, can he make it? Knife out. He's certainly
Not to be, he can't.
Gonna have to try and play the long game. They're going to investigate. They know he disappeared off Long. They'll be piecing this one back together. Boomich now towards Toilets, does reposition. It has pulled Gade off, though. This decision has worked wonderfully to at least give him a chance at the 2 1v1s. He's loud and a tag, but not enough.
Well, that's a really impressive recovery from North, I have to say. I'm interested to hear what the vibe is like down on the tournament floor.
Well, the vibe is one of focus, Henry, and actually these two teams are two teams that clearly have synergy in the server and also visibly at the LAN as well. Earlier before the match started, I saw Guardian and Electronic sharing the same hoodie as they trotted over and got ready to play. So these teams are not getting rattled despite the close scoreline, because let's face it, this is the closest best of one we've seen so far here in Malmö. But will it stay as close, or is it going to become one-sided? We'll find out very soon.
CORSAIR DreamHack Masters continues. We're live from Sweden. It's North versus NaVi, and this one was close. 8-7. It's now time for the Danes to take the attack. Our machine, he's Henry G, and we are into our second half of our third game of the day here, live from Sweden.
We absolutely are, Alex, and here we go. It looks like a fast approach from the Danes towards the B bomb site. The smoke's already been deployed, and Yugi's leading the charge, and he's looking to go large here, trying to open things up. The Glock pays nothing, though. It's going to be Boomich opening things up, and AZ will reply quickly as the bomb scrambles towards the bomb site here. Electronic waits behind the smoke, and they have no ideas. It's looking very good for NaVi now. They get the 3-on-2 lead and deny any possibility of a quick plan there.
Oh, that was a chance from Valda, catching Electronic somewhat off guard. That's a big push from Kirby. Doesn't make it neat and tidy, but that's enough. Bloodshed needs to catch Guardian. He can't. He's baby stabbed by Simple, and perfect work from NaVi to finish it. A perfect killer piece. A team ace, as it were. And that will put them on 8. Keeps things dead even, and that's going to really put a bit of a wind beneath their wings as they continue their flight here in the second half.
Well, there we go. All tied up now. NaVi on the CT side will have a huge advantage going into this next round. No bomb planted again. North will have to take the full eco here to get 1 P250. No armor, no nades. Objective, get that bomb planted if possible. Best approach is to stick together, try and trade out 1 kill if you can, and try and get that 4-second plant down. But it's a very tall order considering their current setup. Up against 3 SMGs here in the form of MP9s. Got a scout for Guardian as well. Simple on the only rifle, the M4A4 for himself. You'd expect no less at this stage, as we'll see 5 players waiting outside the site, just waiting for the initial utility to be thrown. It's something. You can get some grenades out of their utility belts, and it'll cost them some cash going forward. Ideally, a couple of kills here if North can pull it off, but we'll see what can be done here. They've managed to bait us some bullets here, not taking any casualties just yet, but Boomich changes that. An absolute nuke deployed towards the monster tunnel. Looks to be a clean sweep, and Flamey confirms it. Great hold, and it denies a plant.
Yeah, they had that perfectly sussed out. They didn't even necessarily go on an investigation. They just had the expectation. Guardian was looking at Long from a site, Simple Toilets. The rest, though, was just intuition. No need to solve it. Great work with the SMGs. They had the perfect weapons for the job. Bullets into the smoke, nades. It was a rather potent mix, and it does put NaVi in the lead. This time, though, North, much more resistance to present. In fact, their buy is significantly stronger than that of the CTs.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a nice advantage to have. AKs and the Krieg, but a lack of utility, not fully equipped, but more than enough to win a round. As you'll see, the CT's being very active here. Boomich and Flamey pushing towards that monster tunnel, trying to get information. They've got bucket loads, but Valda waiting all the way towards T-spawn. They can't really challenge him, so they'll take what they can with this and actually focus towards the water position, and now Flamey can hold that. That means they can rotate a player over towards B, and that's exactly what Electronic is up to. Simple. He's got the main firepower here with the M4A4, trying to be up close and personal as Flamey secures short.
They're playing this nicely. It really exposes the Danes now with the door gone. They can't really have any setup time. AZ had a chance to relieve some of that pressure, but instead a smoke arrives. Their smokes have been great here.
Yeah.
They had the early one to really lock Valda out of his spawn hold, and another one's arrived now towards under.
This really funnels North towards the A side now. If they were to recover the B side of the map, they've got to check so much, and time is actually ticking away at this stage. 45 seconds remaining. They still have 2 smokes, and it'll be a very pretty average execution with those remaining. You can't really do anything too technical. Now just the one as NaVi try and run the clock down as much as they possibly can. As Electronic waiting close range with the smoke in front. They are going to boost behind it. Can he be flashed through? That'd be absolutely epic, but he just waits patiently at this point.
He could really screw them up here. Oh my goodness! It's going to be one!
No
two
way.
Somehow!
How do
he
you
gets
recover?
ahead of AZ. I have no idea. Guardian, with 15 seconds left, doesn't necessarily need to give them that fight. Takes the safer angle, misses the shot. Flash isn't going to really do too much. It's down to Simple. Important frag. Valda had the bomb. This round is over. Yugi, you can get one shot. You have got the bomb, but you haven't got a chance to survive. Boomich confirms it. And NaVi, with a little scouts, MP9s, they find themselves another round.
Like I said, the operative word there is active. They knew they were up against it in terms of the loadout there. They've pushed B. They've got monster control and short as well. We said they funneled them towards A. It looked like Electronic made a misstep there. He overlooked that boost initially, but somehow still gets 2 frags, and Simple, strong as ever, manages to deny the plant and the round indeed. 4 HE grenades will make it 3 as one smoke as well. I assume they're going to be nading towards the boost spot at the B site in true Starless fashion.
Fast molly towards Monster instead of the smoke.
Yeah, they're reading the economy at this point, I guess, just trying to shut down any potential rush there. If that was what North had in mind, has certainly been pushed back at this stage. Still with the HEs available. And going to boost themselves up and see if there's a frag available, I would imagine.
They might do the Astralis nades, yep. Straight towards the Monster Tunnel hold, the close one. It won't do anything.
A little bit.
Yeah, sorry, excuse me. About 6 points of damage done to Boomich. How dare I?
$900 of investment for 6 points of damage. Worth every penny.
Well, we'll see if they can profit from it. Aggressive, AZ, again, chipping away at the health, but it's NaVi to be chipping away at the numbers for North. Only 2.5 remain. Cade is so ready for this round. And he still can't get it. The free aim was a little off, a little askew. Electronic staying crouched. Enables him to find that shot with ease, and now just a matter of time. Yugi full flash. You have to give some credit to NaVi. They are looking really not. I mean, you used the word active last round, but it seems coordinated is another one I'd add to the list.
Yeah, synergized for sure.
Yeah.
The flashbangs and peaks off them. They're not taking too many risks here, making sure they have some method behind the madness every single time.
Or not taking too many 50-50 duels. It feels like
exactly.
they always have the percentage, you know, they have the percentage chance to win those fights more often than not so far here on the CT side.
Well, the half really begins here. North have already had an attempt with the AKs up against the MP9s to little to no effect. Didn't even get the bomb planted. Oh, that's lovely. Did he get a full-on jumping kill? That's ridiculous. No way.
Damn.
That shouldn't happen.
At the apex of his jump.
Yeah, that shouldn't be possible, but sometimes the RNG falls in your favor. As Simple now with the AWP at the decent spawn, that's why he's going for it. He might swap with Guardian, and indeed he will. It's good to see them staying true to the system they've implemented with Guardian coming through. And now at this point, round 20, they'll slow things right down as we'll see a full buy on either side. North lacking grenades there. You can see, yes, they're fully equipped in terms of their arsenal, but don't have all the smoke required for a full tactical B play here, but they have got 4 players outside. Maybe it's a contact approach here, and that just means walking to the site until you find a CT and everyone commits.
Oh, perfect flashbang flame. He's going to be caught off with his pants around his ankles. Boomich forced to find cover. Does so, tucks himself into the sandbags. He does have some degree of the element of surprise here. Nate could do damage. Just over the shot it a little bit. Boomich does find Gade on the site. That's big. Now 4 for 4 on this retake. Guardian and Simple coming from the ace site. Boomich and Electronic short side. Oh, AZ. He's in prime position, but Guardian's going to start finding a big connection. There's going to be a little too few members of North remaining to hold all these angles of approach. Kirby close. Bomb half gone. Leaves AZ and Valda. Boomich with a huge frag, and now it's time for AZ to find a multi-kill. He can't. Down to Valda. Time, though. If he stops that defuse, he could win this round all on his own. It's going to be so tough, though. Simple's the first task. He can't weather it. It's such a close defuse, but they get it, and NaVi 12 now to 8. Right by the skin of their teeth.
They're looking dangerous, NaVi. It seems like it's a very good team effort. Everything's quite calculated. The retake there couldn't have been timed any better at all, and they're making sure they're working together on these frags. There's always trade potential coming through, even after losing the first pick towards Monster. It was a nice approach from North. They didn't have much in terms of utility, as we mentioned, but one flash yielded that first entry kill towards B. Quick plant down, but Boomich stayed alive as long as he could. He got 1 kill through the smoke and waited for his teammates to arrive. It's beautiful to watch.
It must be so funny for Guardian. He's just spent so long communicating in English, and now it's straight back to his original, the language that he learned Counter-Strike in. I mean, I say that, he actually speaks so many languages.
Yeah.
He's got some Hungarian, he's got a little bit of everything in there.
Wow. Touching distance now victory in this best of one. NaVi have had a pretty perfect CT side so far, 5-0 in their favor, 12-8 overall. Incendiary towards a connector, just to push them back. Has worked out, AZ can't move. Guardian feels safer going back towards the bomb site. Short control granted towards NaVi once again. Electronic investigating that fact. They can have a little boost there and look in towards a connector if they feel like it. Looks like exactly what they'll do. Very strong setup here. You can see B's pretty much completely shut down at this stage.
Yeah, and I mean, when they do that boost as well, whoever's on the base of that totem pole can hold the short tunnel.
Making a bit of noise there. Electronic feels safer. Just falling back. Didn't get much for it, but information gathered at least. 45 seconds remaining.
He saw the shadow.
He did, and there's 40 seconds here, and they can just throw a smoke in. Around the 35-second mark will be perfect. There it is. That's going to hold them at bay. It's going to make things very, very difficult now to break through.
So shave 15 off and see what you're left with. North, they're going to have to commit into this, and I think you can see the repositioning of the CTs. They know exactly what they've got to do. Looking to destabilize. Great flash, great frag. Only one, though. Kirby, there's a Molotov, there's flashes. NaVi are just rotting the clock, and they're doing it oh so well. They're still not in the site. There isn't a single Danish boot on the B bomb site. Now it changes. Gade, a huge frag onto Flamey, trying to get that bomb down. Electronic to contest, though, and that's it. Round over. One frag was all it took. All Guardian's got to do is survive. He's ballsy enough to stay for the one.
Yes, you're absolutely right there. Had he gone down there, been egg all over his face, but still, he manages to get the frag and fall back and take one with him, so that's absolutely perfect. North there, completely stifled towards the B side. Like I said, if you can get a smoke down at a key choke point, like the monster position at 35 seconds, it should be around victory, because there's nothing they can do until the clocks ran down to the absolute minutiae there. We are going to see Yugi save the AK, but remember, he gets no extra cash on top of that, because the round expired and no bomb being planted. 13-8 down, they've got maximum loss bonus, but without the plant, doesn't really get you too far. It's going to be around $3,500 per player, the very top end gate of 4K. I'm not sure what the coach can say at this point. You have a buy-up with no nades and AKs, or you take an eco and let them go 14-8.
Let's not forget the man on your screens there, given a new burden, leadership. And so far, on the T side, often where the calls hold the most weight, they have yet to post a round. It is one of the thankless jobs of Counter-Strike in game leadership. And at the moment, Gade certainly not feeling too thankful for this transition, as he feels a little stifled by the NaVi defense. And I mean, credit to NaVi, less so than discredit to Gade.
Well, we've talked about the in-game leader situation for NaVi, and one of the common criticisms they had before was Zeus was a great in-game leader, but didn't necessarily frag too hard. You currently have Boomage on 20 frags, and Simple starts to mow them down towards long. Great work from him. Gets a couple of frags there and takes Kiabi down to 39. He will go down eventually, but that's enough just to slow them right down and get them second-guessing themselves. Good news, I suppose, is they can recover a rifle at least at this point, but still in a very difficult spot. It will be Valda to get the AUG in hand. Remember, they didn't force buy into this round. They took a partial buy with the saved AK, but Yugi's already been dropped. Be easy to recover the aforementioned AK-47, and Boomage controlling short. Such great play from him. Really impressed with what he's doing so far. Such smart, intellectual play.
The call they made as well in the round prior, they flash and push short with Boomage at, what was it, 20 seconds, 15? Yeah. It's just so perfect. They have a perfect read of North.
Yeah, on the T side as well, he was the one flanking and just being a thorn in their side almost every single round. He's having a great game so far, and he's stepping up once again.
Oh, no.
He does get them another kill and a half, I suppose. AZ down to 10 is a team kill ultimately, but that's fine. If you have to kill your teammates to kill them, sometimes that has to happen, Alex.
Sure, I know, but it just looks a whole lot more janky now, because AZ, he was the one with 10 HP at the end of that, and now looking to take a fight onto Flamey. Good damage. Shot on the cross. Guardian will not miss that, and now Kirby thrown into a 1 versus 3. Has the bomb and a little bit of a window of time to try and get onto that site. He does look like he's going to be holding W.
Oh, I thought Electron was rotating towards A. I don't know why he backs up B, to be honest with you. But there we go, a chance for Kirby. And a quick shot from Electronic. Chance completely thwarted there, but still the bomb goes down. It was unlikely they're going to win that with 4 pistols and an AK, but with a maximum loss bonus and a bomb planted, they'll have a very strong buy here. The AWP's certainly a possibility, but they are running out of time now. They're desperate at this stage. They go 14-8 down. Money is out of control on the NaVi side. They're yet to drop around on the CT side. Currently sat 7-0. Here was the initial push. Aggressive, of course, from Simple. Mows 2 of them down. Managed to take Kiabi to 38 as well, as now they're 1 round away from match point.
Looks like almost a guarantee at this point. Still yet to break the drought. Not a single T round posted. An 8-7 half now. Staring down the barrel of 14-8 North. Could lose Kirby early here. He's got to sweep the stairs. It's reaction time. And he does give it a look, and oh, Simple.
Oh dear.
If he times this right as well, he could get damage on towards the party players. Never mind, Guardian steals it from him.
It's ruined the fun.
Well, or has it? It does mean that Simple doesn't have to reveal his position, and Kjaerbye's death there, he's likely going to be operating under the assumption that it's clear. By he, I mean Valda. Or the entire North squad. Oh, this is going to be such a brutal mix. Here comes a chance, presents itself, and still, element of surprise enables Simple to fluff his line somewhat. Still gets the double kill out of that.
Ridiculous. What amazing play that was from Simple. Allows our first player to walk into the jaws of death of Guardian, gets himself 2 frags still, and pretty much guarantees match point at this stage. Yugi and Gade with an AWP and no grenades between them, 45 seconds, 4 kills to find. I think I've spelled it out for you. It's a very difficult situation to be in, really far from ideal at this point as the clock ticks away once again. Guardian gets one of these kills, especially that one. It should be round done. Just applying pressure to the final player here. It's going to be Yugi, who's just trying to fight for his life at this point. Not going to happen. Match point found. NaVi on an absolute brilliant run here on the CT side.
Untouched, unscathed. You cannot break this wall of Natus Vincere. See that again. So Guardian gets the first, and it was Simple's flank where he got the other 2. Guardian just put the final nail in the coffin onto Gade close quarters. He was their way into the site, into the round.
Yeah, they slammed the coffin shut at this point, I think.
Yeah, it shipped it off. Aggressive push from Guardian. Smoke and flash. He's going to do it all on his own and can peek over that should he want to. Just more of an information play than anything else. Doesn't choose to commit or overstay his welcome. Instead, he joins Simple with some underpass control. He might even consider pushing this.
Well, he's got all the freedom in the world now. They've got such a nice buffer of rounds. They can start having some fun and start applying the pressure. Like we said, the loss bonus only gets you so far. No way, Simple.
Valda's holding that.
They know what Simple's up to.
Ooh.
Oh, he's gone. Oh, no. This could be everything. He gets up there.
This is some funny business. Guardian already takes down Gade. They are 4 frags away from a perfect defense here on Overpass.
Oh, I'm getting butterflies from this one.
Oh, the trigger discipline as well from Simple. It's likely that he will wait until multiple targets are in his periphery, but it doesn't seem like it's going to give him a chance. They start to accelerate.
Well, they've actually confirmed that B should be clear now. Simple's going towards T-Spawn to make sure that is the fact. Incendiary from Guardian, trying to buy some time. They know it's going to be an A-side attack. Simple confirms it. They can start rotating Flamey over at this stage. Guardian's trying to buy time. Wants to guarantee this round. Doesn't have to do anything too flashy here. Electronic with the second frag.
Amazing balls. It looks like NaVi have done enough. Just Yugi, a UMP. An impossible task. He's already spotted from Bank. Flamey's putting in the bullets as well. There's nowhere to go. Nothing to do. NaVi, perfect on the CT side of Overpass. 16-8 the final score. 9 rounds in a row. As they are looking coordinated, they are looking poised. And we said from the analyst desk, we don't know. Well, I think they've learned a lot after just 1 map.
That is a really impressive performance there. Shout out to Boomich as well. The in-game leader dropping 20 frags there, and he was an absolute nuisance for them throughout the entire game as well. T-side was relatively close. It would seem like NaVi had some difficulty towards the latter stages, but their CT side was absolutely stellar. You can't point any holes in that. That was absolutely wonderful.
No, flawless stuff from NaVi, and we are going to go ahead and finish this one off over at the analyst desk.
Yes, outstanding CT sides will be what the storybooks write about NaVi, at least in this matchup. They do find their footing, they do it pretty well, and it looks as though they head to the north without any roadblocks.
Yeah, and just quickly, Peter, my favorite stats guy from HLTV.org, made a tweet before this game went live saying the core of NaVi had never beaten North on LAN. Well, I tweeted and replied and said that was going to change today, and it did, because this team, I'm super excited. We went out there, Trace, we went out in the paddocks, we were looking at the teams. I was just staring at NaVi. Everyone was smiling, the communication was flowing. I don't know if we can say the same for Liquid right now, though.
Yeah, you know what? We might as well just give everybody what they want. A little bit of a B-Stream update, Christine. This is what we have to do this. Unfortunately, the reality is, for the side of Liquid, they started off really slow. In fact, so slow, some might even say they weren't moving at all. It's currently 14-7. About to be 15-7 here in just a second. They've got 1 round in the first half.
Yeah, that's the scary one, and hopefully, you know, they can course correct. But look, for NaVi here, it's all good signs. We obviously can't learn too much right now, but I was impressed, and I'm happy to see them playing well.
So here's what I want to do in this moment. I actually want to, kind of step away from the fumble that is Liquid going on there and actually talk to someone over at NaVi, because that was the game you were just watching. It would only make sense for us to catch up with someone from NaVi. So we're going to do that via Frankie, and I believe it's going to be Guardian.
I mean, it's got to be Guardian, hasn't it? Because he's sporting a new look. How does it feel to be back in the black and yellow?
Of course, it's amazing. I mean, I've been in NaVi for 4.5 years before, so it feels like coming back to home. So yeah.
And it's quite a different looking home to when you were last there. And in FaZe, you've been playing throughout 2019 with stand-ins. How does it feel to be playing on a lineup that clearly has a long-term future?
Of course, it's amazing. You are more motivated. You know what you can expect from all your players, and not like in FaZe we had for the past 1 year, I think, that we had stand-ins every 2-3 events. So yeah, I mean, it feels much better, of course.
And what do you think of Boomage, your young in-game leader?
It's hard to say. I mean, this is our first event. We practiced, I think, 5 days before, so it's still early to say. But he's good. He's not someone who's stops talking or when you are starting losing rounds, or he makes calls that he's confident in, but they don't work out. So I think he has some good potential, and I think in maybe half year he will be very good in game leader.
Now, you did have an absolutely flawless CT side, so congratulations. 9 rounds to win, not dropping a single round in your defensive side. The first half, though, we were having a little chat before we went live, and you mentioned a few mistakes. What do you want to iron out for the next best of 3?
Of course, the rounds we lost on T side, rounds that we shouldn't have lost. I mean, we lost, I think, 2 force buys in the way that it shouldn't happen. I mean, we just died 1 by 1, and we didn't really follow the call that was made, so we should focus on that we'll be doing everything 100%, and then everything will be fine.
There's been a lot of talk about Simple now going to the rifle role. Now you come to take up the AWP. Is there a bit of pressure on your shoulders? Because Simple, he's not bad with the sniper, is he?
I mean, Simple is a perfect player. I mean, all around with any gun, so I don't think it matters for him. But now he gets more freedom, I get more freedom, and I think it will work out in both ways. We can do double offset on some maps, so I think it's hard to say now. We still need some time, and I need some time to see how it works, and I'm sure it will work out.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me, Guardian. Congratulations on making a fantastic debut back with the NaVi roster. Let's head back to the desk to see what they thought of the team's performance.
I think it's the Yin Yang twins who coined the term. But no, I can't even do it. I kind of back down there in the seconds. But there's something about Boomage, get out the way, get out the way, get out the way. And that's exactly what happened. Taking a look at the scoreboard, taking a look at the highlights, you can look at the whole thing. This seems to have all of the ingredients of a good-looking NaVi.
It definitely does. And I mean, you just look at Simple and just the difference in his ability to get in the mix and really just dance around. I mean, just thinking back on that connector side, he was in such a disadvantageous position, and it's only Simple that can really find his opening, capitalize on it in a split second, and just that small movement, that small adjustment, readjusting onto that ledge in that connector gets him another kill. And I really like to see this flair coming out, the personality coming out of Simple, and sometimes you just didn't see it with that op.
Jeb, what do you think?
Well, I'm looking for something from more of like a personnel level. Oh, there's a bloody nice draft in here, Trey. So I thought it was getting a bit warm under these lights. But yeah, no, I really wanted to see it from a personnel level and see like how they're gelling as a team. And Guardian there, he's pretty candid. It's our first kind of outing together. We need to see how things go. But positive signs, saying some very good things about Boomage, calling Simple the perfect player. That's what we talk about with the best players in the world, right? Simple can do it all. So the fact that he can do that and have more freedom, that's always positive signs. We didn't speak much about North, but coming into this, if they've changed their in-game leader as well, they also have movements or bits and pieces that they need to shuffle around. And for me, they still have a lot of work to do if they're ever going to live up to their full potential.
Yeah, and you've got quite the name brand to live up there on the side of NaVi. One thing we will do is let Christine draw all over the stats helix. That's one thing I'm personally excited for. We'll even put a little wind in your hair while you do it. Go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna bring up this stats helix here, and basically you could see in this scenario that NaVi are in a 3 versus 2 advantageous position, and I wanted to highlight Gade's calculated gamble to not stay in this connector. So we're gonna see Gade here getting a really nice clean entry onto Boomage, bringing that advantage not so much back into North's favor, but his calculated decision to go back into A and regroup with Yugi. I think under the circumstances, this was his highest percentage play, but simple. He says, get your mind games out of here. He retakes his real estate back over and slowly creeps back into this B bomb site. He's rewarded heavily, and it's just a free bomb site. And if we can go into the point of view for Electronic here to highlight his forward position, you can see that he was able, thanks to Simple, be in such a close CT spawn position that enables him 2 really easy kills in that post-plant scenario. So this is really an ideal scenario for NaVi to bring this round back into their favor.
Yeah, we always talk about information being key in this game, right? And right there where you've highlighted is the percentage play from Gade. He's got the kill, he's also delayed time, and he's fallen back so he could regroup and actually play the 2v2 with his teammate, and yet it still doesn't play out for them. Those are the rounds there where you do everything right, and you sit there and you go, oh man, like how much do I have to do? But this game right here, I think, you know, the future for NaVi looks bright, for North. Tough opponent because you can't really prepare for the unknown, right? That's one thing that we didn't highlight in the pregame. There is a lot of unknown factors. Best of ones we're going into, and new teams, new in-game leaders, coaches can speak more. There are going to be upsets. I wouldn't call this one an upset, but we are going to have upsets throughout the tournament, maybe like that Liquid game.
Something about plans are everything and planning is everything, plans are nothing, is something like that. But at least in this scenario, it doesn't really matter. North gets squashed by NaVi. If we look over to the B stream, which is still going? 15-9, Liquid just holding on to what they've got. Sometimes you got to believe, you know? And in this scenario, we're going to believe in going to a break. Coming up afterwards will be our next best of one, the last best of one I'm going to be able to bring to you for the day. It's going to be a little bit of Mouse Sports taking on that of the Ninjas in Pajamas. Now, don't confuse them with the Bananas in Pajamas. Quite the difference here as the Swedes look to get a foothold in Sweden. We'll be right back after this break.